What up, everybody? Jay Scott here. Julian Scott Varner.
Eddie Lee.
My man Eddie Lee. We here in the studio. We're trying to get this stuff right.
Turn the camera on.
Is that it right there? Yeah, there we go. We're just doing some. Stacy! What up, Stace? We here just to chop it up. We're just here chopping it up. So we are waiting just for some folk maybe to join us or whatever. But if not, they can also view it later on. It's my man Eddie Lee. We met about, what did you say, like maybe 20 years ago?
Over 20 years ago.
20 years ago. We connected through a situation that was a positive situation. What's up, Lamar? I saw some of the clips, man, from the event you guys had. Good to see you on. So my man Eddie was one of the background cats, but really one of the movers and shakers as well to a situation that we were working with. And it was a good situation. I'm not going to say anything less or more, but because actually, if even just meeting him was good that came out of it, we still here. So, we still grinding, doing what we're doing. Maybe both of us a little bit more gray.
A lot. But the most important thing, never, ever burn a bridge that you're going to have to cross again. You will never be in a situation that you're in.
There you go.
That's how I say it like that.
James Brown, what's up? James Brown! What's good? So we're here just to maybe talk a little bit about some music stuff, music production, music distribution, just some of the things that maybe even young artists or even producers need to be aware of and need to be mindful of in bringing their music to the table in terms of looking for radio airplay, looking for distribution, and today is a great day for the independent artists to like really be able to get music out to the public and really control your own destiny. Is it difficult? Yes, it's difficult. Is it impossible? No, it's not impossible. Do you have to know that you know that you know that you know that you know that this is what you want to do? Most definitely, because of the complexities of the taking on the task. When people believe in you, when people don't believe in you, when there's money, when there's a little bit of money, when there's no money, you got to know that you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is what you're destined to do. And I say destined to do it because I believe that anybody that has gift and talent, you're destined to do this. You're destined. It's just a matter of whether or not you get help or even whether or not you just have the tenacity to keep going at it until you break through, until you crack the ceiling, until you crack the rock, until the rock breaks open and your opportunity comes. I heard someone say this, preparation plus opportunity is what equals success. So, what we're doing today, what I'm doing, what I've been doing for a while, and it's still tough. I don't have it made, but yet and still, I'm sitting in the studio that God has blessed me to have and to own, to be able to share some things. And I've been plugging away, still gonna keep plugging away at it until something break. And guess what? One of the things I've realized is that it's not a matter of how great you are at what you do, more than you being consistent at what you do, and then your time coming. Your time cometh, and your opportunity come, and it's your time, whether it's quote unquote your time to shine or your time to have. I don't even want to say your 5 or 10 minutes in the spotlight, because that's not what it's about. I believe it's about following your passion and doing this because you love it, and because it's something that you would do, whether it was just you one-on-one and you're playing to an audience of one, it's just you and God, or if it's you and 10,000 people in the room. Hopefully your passion and your love for it should remain exactly the same. So if you guys even got any questions, you might want to post something as we go along. I'm going to let Eddie talk a little bit as well. We're going to answer some questions, and we're sharing. For a few minutes we'll be on here. I'm not quite sure how long, maybe about a half an hour, maybe a little longer, maybe a little less, depends. So what up, E?
I'm trying to connect the dots from New York all the way to Atlanta and all stops in between. Delaware, CO, Cut Creators Barbershop, DC, Don Knotts, Sydney, Baltimore and Maryland, Q Films. My man Rodney Stone is starting to do his own little episodes. The time has come for us to just come together. Help the next man. It don't cost you nothing. You get blessed. We just got to stop hating on each other. I'm happy for the next man to be doing everything. Now, I came up here on a sad occasion. My aunt was in the hospital with 2 blood clots. I came and saw her. And after that, I called my man. We met up. And things about to be good. We going to show you how to do this music thing the right way. Distribution, my guy. We getting ready to do it. Gospel.
What up, Jamal? Secular, R&B. It's still the same business. And one of the things that I believe from the Christian perspective to the secular, and the only thing that secular means is anything that's non-Christian or non-religious. That's it. So I know some of my gospel folk, and people, and I've been through it as well. We often sometimes shun the word or the idea of secular music because of the connotation that it denotes. But you can have, you listen to secular music every day, whether or not you're listening to any of the secular radio stations, or if you're just listening to the news. If you hear a song on there that introduces the supermarkets or the stores that you shop at, or the bank that you bank at, or wherever you go, that is quote unquote a secular song. It's not a religious song. It's a song it's just music. The television commercials that you like, hey Debbie, my baby sister, hey dear, whatever it is that you like, it's a secular song. So it's not something that I think God is going to be unhappy about. No, it's not. It's music. It's called licensing. It's called publishing. When those commercials are played, and we know people that, whether they're in gospel or not, that have done very well doing some commercial spots as well. Over the years, some stuff that you probably are not even aware of, some of the people that we know has done. You said great definition, that clears up a lot. You're welcome. It is, brother. It is. And sometimes some things, because of the lack of us understanding, stops us from moving forward with certain things because of fear about doing certain things and how to do certain things. And I've done a couple of commercials for Walmart myself, a couple other local things. I mean, and it's fun to do. I play classical music. That's not religious. Gone to school for it, trained in it. I've been playing classical music since I was 4 years old. So, again, sometimes right now where we are, stop waiting. I'm going to say this. Stop waiting for other people to give you the opportunity to do something. It's time to just go ahead and do it yourself. It's time to go ahead and just, put your stuff out, put it together, get it together, record it, it's time to just do it. You know, we sit back a lot of times and we wait to accomplish or to try to accomplish something because we don't feel like we have everything it takes in order to get from point A to point B, C, D, E, and F. But if you at least start, or if you at least connect to somebody that does know something, that does have some idea about it, and ask questions. We don't ask questions. I know sometimes we, in our community, unfortunately, sometimes we fight with the contending of how good you are at what you do, and we feel less because there's a lot of pressure that's put on us. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves because you might not sing like this person or you might not play like that person. So automatically, sometimes it stops some people from getting up and doing what they do best. I don't care if you know 3 chords, if you know 300 chords. The person that knows 300 chords is no better than the person that knows 3 chords. You have to be confident and happy with what you know in what you do, but do it well. If you play 3 chords, play those 3 chords well. If you play 300 chords, you'll know that you don't need to play 300 chords. So in whatever it is, and that's not a slant to anybody, because I love good music. As a musician, I love hearing great and good musicians. I love hearing good singing, great singing. But I can also hear something that's valuable in maybe the person that doesn't sound like somebody else. And matter of fact, to me, that's more unique. I'm not saying anything that's new to anybody. We know today a lot of our music sounds all alike across the board, from secular music to gospel music, because a lot of times people are trying to fit into a market, or they're trying to fit into a brand. They're trying to fit into or along with what is already successful, and they don't want to step away from it or have enough courage to do something that's just unique and different. But I think today is time for independence to really step forward and to be brave and bold. There's a lot of independent music that's out there that you don't even know about. I would tell anybody, go on iTunes, look up some stuff, look up new artists, look up independent gospel artists, and you will find out. And my shout out right now even to Igara, because they are doing their thing with and for independent gospel artists right now in the marketplace. Please look for opportunities. Don't wait. I'm here to encourage you. Please don't wait. Please make sure your stuff is right, but please stop waiting for somebody else to validate you. Please stop waiting for somebody else to tell you that you're good enough. You are good enough, all right?
Believe in yourself.
There you go. Come on, talk, Eddie. I'm doing all the talking.
Yeah.
Daryl Young, bless you, sir.
Daryl, hit me. I'm here, man. I'm in New York.
Yep.
Stop playing.
Hey, Chanel. That's another one of the artists that I produce.
And
Jason, my family there. What's up?
And also in Charlotte, North Carolina, DJ Polo, Obia Studios, Slim Hood, Platinum Plus, my little man Mel Silas. He's a problem. Ty Cartel. I could talk forever. But also in Greensboro, Van X, he got a pile of people. We're going to put this stuff together. And the artists that need it, I'm here for you. Just get at me. Danville, Virginia. There's a gang of them up there. Gretna, Chatham. Hey, more than anything, I want somebody from my hometown, Chatham, Gretna, Danville, to just come on and get on the boat. Take this ride with me. Gospel and secular. No problem. We got you.
So we were talking earlier about what is it that artists need, and from doing mixtapes to doing gospel projects to doing anything across the board. And I think what sometimes is missing, that does not allow the music to translate from it going from the creation of it, whether it's recorded in the studio or if it's recorded live, is the quality.
Yes.
You got to have quality music. If you want DJs to listen to your music, to consider it for being played, you got to have quality music. The quality of the recording, the quality of the mix, the quality of the mastering. And really what mastering is just bringing up levels to the overall mix. So if you have a bad mix, when you finish mastering it, you're going to have a better sound in bad mix. If you have a good mix with mastering, you're going to have a better sounding good mix with mastering. Mastering raises the levels and it tweaks certain frequencies, and it does some things. It polishes off what you're doing and what you've done in your mix, so that the radio stations can play it, and so that it's at the same level, sound-wise, clarity-wise, as everything else that's out there. One of the things I try to constantly do is I try to listen to what's being done already or what's out, and compare that to the sound that I have. What's helped me to develop the sound that I have is being able to just compare what's being sold, whether it's a song that I like or not. It doesn't necessarily have to be a song that I like. I'm listening for frequencies. Pastor Keith Ron Powell, I hope they caught that a bad mix can't be fixed in mastering. You'll just have a bad sounding or good sounding bad mix, and that's absolutely correct. I've had radio DJs come with projects asking me if I can fix the projects so that they can play the projects on their radio station. And really the sad part about it is that if it had been prevented in the mix, it would have been doable. But mastering can't really do anything unless you strip it down to the session files and then do the mix again. And all of these things are things that I've learned over the years through trial and error myself, sometimes begging for people to come and help me. And sometimes folk didn't have time or wouldn't. Not saying that anyone did anything maliciously or was hating, but just the simple fact that that's how life goes. And guess what? Sometimes God takes us through the process so that we could learn certain things ourselves. And when you learn it for yourself, you know it better. But you're not alone. You have resources available so that you can also learn correctly. The thing that we have to do is learn how to reach out to one another, how to talk and how to communicate, how to ask questions. Don't be afraid. You have people that are available and that have resources. We just have to ask. A lot of times I get people saying to me, "Oh, you're so busy. You're so busy." I'm busy, but I'm not busy. I'm not busy if it's worth talking about, if it's worth talking to. Let's talk. Let's talk. I try to be very succinct at what I do so that I don't waste a whole lot of time. So it's difficult, but it can be done. And it can be done in every area of our lives. And that's what we have to work on so that all of our business is succinct, and no matter what we do, because we can't expect business to be right in one area if business isn't right. And that's a whole nother video, but we won't talk about that right now. So
yes, and get that paperwork together.
The paperwork.
I'm not doing nothing for nobody else unless I'm signing that paperwork. Mm-hmm. I'm meeting with my homeboy Jeff Wooten. He's an entertainment lawyer. So hey, get ready. Writers, everybody. I'm trying to help you get to where you need to go. But if you keep listening to the same people you keep listening to, you can be in the same place you've been being. Me, I work for myself. I can get up and go any day of the week. Any day. New York, Atlanta, DC, anywhere. My LA, GP. Homeboy, I'm coming to see you out there. Yeah, that's how I met Tyrese with Greg Parks. That's one of my best friends. Me and him was back to back in this club one night when I had to mush a nigga. I don't mean to say it like that, but I'm not the one to be played with like that. Whoa. But all that is behind me. That's Chris Latimer's, yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
So listen, anybody have any questions, or you want to throw anything out you want us to talk about or address, maybe some of the concerns, some of the issues, and I'd love to definitely do this live. What's up, cuz? Tiffany, how you doing? Good to see you on there. She's another artist, songwriter that's been grinding for years doing this as well. My little cousin from New Jersey. Thank you, Annette. Just, we're just trying to, it's time to share, I'm talking to myself and I'm talking about myself as well. And I guess because over the time frame when I've been working with artists and been in the studio with independent artists, and matter of fact, right now, let me just put a a shameless plug-in. We have a Melba Moore song out right now, and you guys know who Melba Moore is. We just did a track for her. Actually, Stacy, my girl Stacy, wrote it. I helped to co-write it as well. I did the track and the music, and we vibed in the studio. The song, let me tell you, here's how the song went. We wrote the song. We came together for the idea. Stacy laced it. She laced it. She laced it. She laced it with lyrics. She laced it with her vocals. So much to the point where, I cannot neglect to shout out my man Reggie Huggins. It was through him that the whole connection came, that we were able to get that opportunity.
What up, Reggie?
As well. Okay, so shout out to my boy
Answer the phone.
Reggie Huggins.
Return your calls. I called you.
What is it? Flintstone Records,
Flintstone.
Bedrock Records. It was because of him
Bedrock
that we got the opportunity. So, I don't want him to see this later, because I believe in giving props where props are due. I don't have a problem.
He's doing a lot for Mount Vernon. He put together something, but we never got to finish. I'm back. Hey, hit me up. So, and also, I want to plug Notable Records, Heather and Maestro, Benny Blanco, you my man. Trizza, love you guy. B. Michael Cox, Travis Cherry. Also, I can't forget my man K-Fam. You know how we were in that studio. 800 First 4th Street was the bomb. And I'll never forget that. That's how I met all of my people in Atlanta. Shout out what my name is. I love that little guy because he linked me with all the comedians.
So Eddie been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes for a lot of people. And one of the things that I said to him when we started talking, I'm going to get back to the story with Melba Moore real quick. But I said to Eddie, man, I'm interested in doing whatever it is that you're doing, but I want to push you and make sure you get your stuff in order. You get your stuff in order so that whatever goes down, you're blessed. You're not left on the outside. You're not left on the side. But I'm with this. If you're down, I'm down with you. If you're going to be a part of this, to be the forefront guy.
No
so
doubt.
I'm with you. So I don't have a problem being a team player. I don't have to be. I'm not the number one man. I can be the number 2, number 3, or the number 4 man, as long as we with a team that is really just that. It's a team, because guess what? The pitcher can't be the catcher. The catcher can't be the first baseman. The first baseman can't be the third baseman or second baseman. And all parts of the team are important in every position that they play. So that's, as they would say, stay in your lane. So I know how to stay in my lane, though. I can flip hats and wear from the business aspect of it to the creation aspect of it. It's all good. I'm not jealous. I'm not intimidated by anything or anybody. We all share. What my gift is my gift. What your gift is your gift. So let me get back to Melba Moore. So Stacy wrote this song. We were in the studio here. We recorded it, everything. We took it to a meeting. And in the meeting, it was like, hey, I know what we could do. Melba can record this song. So here's how the quality paid off. When Melba heard the song, she came in the studio, she heard it. They kept everything the same. Now, you might ask, why is that significant? Well, because here's how it could happen. Here's how it does happen. Sometimes they hear a song and they want to put another producer on it, or they have to redo the track. Or sometimes they hear a song, they need to rewrite to the track. Sometimes they hear a song with the vocals and everything, they need to re-record the background vocals and the vocalists and everything. They scratch everything on it to redo it. But the way that this happened was that they kept everything. The only thing Melba did was relay her lead vocal. And then my man Tony McClendon was on it, and he's on it as well. And how that happened, that's a whole nother story. To get him to come and be a part, it all was so spontaneous, and it was also just so seamless and effortless. Y'all have to check it out. Go on iTunes. It's on what is it? My mind is drawing a blank. It's being played on the cable channel that plays the gospel music. It's being played on WBLS, WLIB, a lot of other stations. Melba was just on Channel 5 the other day talking about it. We're about to shoot a video for the song as well, so look out for it. Don't write anybody off. So you might be saying, well, who's Melba? Some of you Or some of you might be saying, oh, well, she's been around for a while, she's old. She's still relevant, trust me. Melba is doing a whole lot more than some of these young people out here that are doing. Whether or not her name is in the spotlight or not, she's still the same. She's a beautiful person, and she's doing her thing. Exactly. And she's grinding, and she's keeping it grinding. She's keeping it together.
She can hold a note from today till tomorrow.
Because you said you love outsourcing. I prefer collaborating so I can focus on writing, no doubt. So you need to get over here in the studio. Glad you said that, because I haven't seen you in a while anyway. Because come on now, and that's my real cousin, Melinda McDaniel. Bless you as well. Another phenomenal singer.
Yeah, Frankie Jackson, where you at, my man?
Yeah.
You said the other night.
Yeah. So if y'all got any questions, shoot them at us, and we can answer them as well. All right.
Hold on. And most of all, I gotta let KB know I really love this guy. He's responsible for Case. He made that happen. A lot of people get credit when you didn't do what you say you did. I take for instance, Tiana Taylor. I was the first one who took her to the studio with these Star tracks, but you didn't hear about that.
We won't go there.
Hey,
but,
no, I'm gonna tell it like it is, bro. It is what it is.
It is what it is. But listen, there's a whole lot of things that we could talk about. And I'm sure a lot of people know the negative side about the music business. And and guess what? It's the same whether you're in gospel music or whether you're in secular music. It's the same exact thing. People can not have their business together or be grimy and whatnot. Or you can learn how to do the things that you need to do. You can do the things that you need to do to protect yourself. Copyright your music. All right. So, let me just share this. So there's the poor man's copyright, right? Which, and I don't know if anyone knows, the poor man's copyright is you sending the music or your song, mailing it back to yourself and it has to be through registered mail. The idea of what's copywritten is that it's date and time stamped. So what registered mail does, it seals and it stamps, it date stamps, and usually I think it might be a time stamp on the receipt actually of when you mail it. So then you take it and you don't open it and you file it away. Hopefully you've written on the envelope or the package so you know what's in it, but you create a file cabinet and hopefully you don't do a whole lot of poor man copyright because you're gonna need a big room with all the music that you create. But until you actually get to doing the copyright online, now it's so easy. You can go online and do it on the website. And then not only that, but then also become a member of BMI, ASCAP, or CSAC, and also register your songs as a songwriter. You don't have to register as a publisher. The only reason why you would need to register as a publisher would be if you have other writers that you are going to sign or that you have signed to work under you, and you're going to be the administrator for their music. If you're not going to be the administrator for someone else's music, you don't need to do a publishing company in order to register your music with BMI, ASCAP, or CSAC. All right, so just so you know, if you're not going to have other writers, then a publishing company is not the first thing necessary in order to register a song that's going to get placed and played on radio or streamed. Okay? So, again, either the poor man's copyright, and now also let me share with you that what also acts as a copyright is when you're working on a computer and you actually create a file. Most people know that when you create a new file on the computer actually has the date and the time that file was created, whatever the file is, from a Word file to a music file to a software file. It actually time stamps it as well. So that's also what copyright is the date of origin or the place of origin or the time of origin, so that you actually protect yourself to say, hey, I wrote this song when. So just listen, we got phones, we got computers, we got everything around us now that we don't have to be without the knowledge that we need in order to safeguard and protect ourselves. So, or just ask somebody what to do. Preach man, what's up? When we gonna do some music? As soon as you come see me or I come see you, what's going on? Another awesome producer and writer as well. It's so many. Listen, you know what I decided to do, man? I'm coming out. I'm not going to just stay. I've been hiding in the lab, man, just perfecting my stuff, and Preach, man, and some other people that I know, they know I've been in the studio. So I've been in the studio so much. It's time now to start coming out the studio and either just talking about the stuff that we're doing, sharing with other people, because I'm finding that a lot of artists that come in the studio, they don't know about performance rights organizations. They don't know about copyright. They don't know about registering their songs and their music, or even getting digital distribution. And yes, we have many different outlets, but then there are not many that will actually also not only just give you the digital distribution, but will also get you radio airplay. So right now, it's really the time in the season for us to reach out. You don't have to wait for somebody else. Again, I'll say this: don't wait for somebody else to validate your music.
No.
There is no wrong way to do a song.
There's
I know
a lot of females out there can sing. Beautiful Crystal Lynch. She model. She can sing. I linked up with my cousin Tasha Thomas. Yo, she can get you that word.
Marshall is asking if I can explain the publishing part again in regards to publishing companies. The thing is this: to register your song with BMI or ASCAP, and those are performance rights organizations. The performance rights organizations are responsible to pay you when your music is played on radio or if it's live streamed. A lot of things are being streamed now because it's a digital platform and a digital era that we're in. So if you don't have other writers signed to you, and you don't intend to sign other writers, you don't need to join BMI, ASCAP, or CSAC as a publisher. Sometimes they try to push you to ask you to do that, but you don't have to. I'm not sure of all the laws of ASCAP, but I listen, unless you have other artists that you're signing, or other writers that you're signing rather,
I see you Mercedes.
You can join BMI as a writer. So don't let that stop you from joining as a writer if you have a song that's going to be published. And then that way also, check this out, you don't have to worry about sending your music to people as well. Your copyright and also publishing your music, you don't have to be afraid to letting someone else hear your music, which is what a lot of people are afraid of. All right, here's some things that also we have to be mindful of. Singers, stop singing over and downloading tracks online that have tags on them. All right, that's unprofessional. It's going to take some time and maybe take some effort to invest in yourself before you get anybody to invest in you. You have to take the time to invest in yourself as well. So if you save up $5 a week so that you can go in the studio or do whatever it is that you have to do, please, it's worth the effort. And before you get anybody else to spend investment of time or money or whatever resources it is in yourself as well, please do that for yourself. You have to, because if you're serious about what you're doing, and you can make it, the sky's the limit right now. The sky's the limit right now.
Key Harrison, you're doing your thing. Keep grinding.
Preach. You need a banging track.
He got it.
Come see me preach.
He got the heat.
My man, preach, man.
And get back to the churches. Fairview, The View, that's my church. Shaco, Greater Tramp, all them artists, yo, hit me up. I'm here with them. Y'all spending that money to record it, you need to be talking to us. We can get you this distribution, everything. So,
but we're gonna also make sure that the quality is right. So you might have to spend a few more dollars to make sure the quality of your music is correct. I mean, in all honesty, you'll hear anyone say that. Even in terms of radio DJs will tell you, please make sure the quality to get radio DJs to play your music, make sure you come with the quality. Stacey,
my little sister Gina Law, I love you, baby girl, in North Carolina doing her thing all over.
Stacey is asking, what is the difference between ASCAP and BMI? Well, the difference is that they're two different companies. They do this exact same thing. They do tracking of performances on radio and digital services across the globe. So, one platform might accentuate certain things in the other, but they both do the same thing. They have different stipulations with ASCAP than with BMI. There's a fee sometimes associated, but you have to ask questions. You have to ask questions. It's not a major fee. It's nominal fees, though, for what it's worth at the end of the day, but you have to ask questions. I'll be honest with you, why I joined BMI. I joined BMI because back in the day, my favorite singers, the Winans, were on BMI. Marvin Winans, all of them guys. I'm a Winan head. If anybody knows me, I love the Winans. I love the Winans. I love the Winans. From way back when. Matter of fact, the Winans was probably one of the first gospel groups that I actually really paid attention to and listened to. Even though I grew up in the church, I was playing classical music for a lot of years. I did a lot of school stuff. So even up until I was about maybe 19 or 20, I wasn't really paying a lot of attention to gospel music. I was classical music, and then creating music as well. So somebody gave me, matter of fact, Darren Hicks gave me a CD with Andre Crouch on one side and the Winans on the other, and I must have wore that cassette out. And cassette. I said cassette, so I'm telling on myself. I did say cassette. I wore that thing out, and I think I got it somewhere. It's a wonder why it didn't pop as much as I played it, because of the message that was in their music and listening to them. How can I get some music to you? Well, I'll give you an email address. All right, you can write this down. NOTE studio STUDIO @gmail.com. OneNoteStudio@gmail.com. Or you can hit me up on Facebook. You can instant message me on Facebook, and we can chop it up.
And everybody down south, LOE Music LLC @gmail, and I'll get it right to them.
Somebody says, from a trending standpoint, ASCAP is mostly songwriter and BMI is mostly producer. But yes, you can do either. Well, I don't know, cuz. I don't know about that, if it's mostly one or the other. But they both do the same thing.
What's up, Tommy?
They both do the same thing.
Tommy Younger.
No doubt, Elder Keith. The Winans, they were the truth back in the day. They still are. I mean, still, and see that's what's deemed to me successful. The fact that they're still around and still doing music and still ministering. They're still relevant to today. So that is what success is, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not looking at bring who on camera, bring them on camera. Who's them? But
Them gone.
Bring them.
Eating milk and cookies.
You talking about Marvin and them? No, I'm just kidding. But the thing is, success is the consistency, being consistent at what we're doing, plugging away. So, we've learned some things over the years, and right now we just want to share. We want to share the wealth. We want to share the knowledge, and we want to share the wealth. Shout out to a good lawyer friend of mine, Kervin Sims, and the reason why I'm mentioning my man Kervin is because Kervin was one of the first attorneys that I connected with way back in Harlem, and they used to have an office on 125th Street and Park Avenue in the building over there. And I used to go to Kervin and pick his brain all the time. And Kervin actually, one day, I guess, maybe he felt sorry for me, and he said, instead of coming here and spending your money, here's what you need to read. And so he started telling me the books that I need to buy, or you need to know about this business of music by Poshman or something, Passman, and some other books as well. And he told me where to start reading and getting knowledge of the music business of my own. And when I bought the book at the time, the edition was a dark blue book. It was a thick book, man. And I looked at that thing, I was like, I don't want to. So I tried to just turn to the parts that I thought was relevant or important. But you really cannot take one part of it without taking in all of it to really understand how the whole publishing works, how the whole publishing machine, works. I'll say this. I heard this said that publishing is the house that the music business lives in. All right? I'll let that sink in for a second. Publishing is the house that music business lives in. And you might say, how is that? Well, the music business is about songs. It's about music. It's about songs. Publishing is about administration of all of those songs.
The breakdown, if you didn't know.
Okay?
Either way, Thomas Whitehead, I'm waiting on little Ebony to get back in that studio. She's too talented not to go on and do this little CD, man. It's easy. I'm with them. And I got my producers in North Carolina, Atlanta, DC. It don't stop.
Actually, CSAC, Melinda, CSAC actually was the company that most gospel artists were going to.
Yeah, Trevor Gill, he's that guy in New York.
Back in the day, it was CSAC that a lot of people were pushing gospel artists towards. But BMI ASCAP, 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. I mean, weigh it out for yourself. Do your own research. Find out who's on. They both do the same thing. I don't have no problems with BMI. Never have. I got catalog with BMI, and I just got a statement from them not too long ago with some stuff that I had did before.
What up, Jack?
And I'm like, oh snap! I didn't even realize that this was being played someplace. But as long as you're on top of your business, and then you don't leave it up to someone else to do your business for you, you're good. So
Jeffrey
you're
Wooten,
good.
entertainment
You're
lawyer.
good. What's up,
Got 'em
Richard
on
Cole?
deck. And anybody out there that's trying to model, we can help you with that too. At least I can. I got to connect. Crystal Lynch, stop playing.
There you go.
Get at me.
So-
you're gonna always.
So
I'm always here for you, baby.
Share
girl.
this with your friends. Let this go. If you know anybody in music, whether y'all like what I'm saying or not, let's talk about it. Let's open the conversation. Let's open the conversation. And let's talk. Let's start communicating, guys, and let's come together. And matter of fact, you know what? If we don't know, we'll find out. I'm not afraid to say, you know what? I don't know.
I don't know.
My girl Melinda is going back and forth. She's getting at me as far as BMI for overall Christian, whether CCM, gospel, Christian rock, etc. CSAC, great for gospel music, and it may be so. But guess what? They all do the same thing. As long as you get that check at the end of the quarter or the following quarter, and it's for your music that's being played on the radio.
I hate to interrupt you. CSAC is more hands-on.
Okay.
I took so many people when I lived in Atlanta to Capricio. First question he always asks, okay, so who's your representative at ASCAP, at BMI? You know what? They couldn't tell him because they didn't know. They didn't talk to nobody. But CSAC is more, I'm your representative. You talk to me, call me.
Marshall, we in New York. My studio is located in Westchester County, New Rochelle, New York, but we're in New York City, between New York to Connecticut.
What's up, Mark?
So, again, it's 6 in one hand, whatever you prefer. And he's absolutely right. And there was one time frame where I knew who my representative at BMI was. I'll be honest with you. Can I tell you who they are right this second? No, but that's a phone call away.
Hey.
That's just me getting on my business again to find out who's the now gospel representative there, which is not impossible. But I guess what? But I've gotten checks and they have cleared, so I'm happy about that from BMI. And matter of fact, I'm slated to get some more. But anyway, so. But let's talk. Let's ask the questions. Let's talk. If we don't know, we will find out for you and come back with information for you so that you can have it and so that you know. Cool, you're in Buffalo. Awesome. Hey, Gina Miller. It's time. This is what's been the burden on my heart. It's time. It's time. Those of us, my brothers and sisters in the Lord, it's time. It's time for us to go. We keep talking about possessing the land.
What y'all keep talking about? Bring them on camera
and get it.
Close your eyes and they'll be on camera. Stop telling us to bring them on camera.
There you go, Melinda. Yeah, because there may, and so listen. If someone is a part of CSAC, guess what? Let me know what's going on at CSAC, and then we'll go hang out together down at whatever the CSAC event is. And if vice versa, something's going on with BMI, let's talk and let's go do what BMI is doing or whatever to gain all the knowledge that we can get. When you don't have the information about your publishing, that's where you lose. when you don't have the proper information regarding your publishing and whether or not, matter of fact, all of your credits are correct. Because if we wrote a song and he's on ASCAP and I'm on BMI, guess what? If I register it with the incorrect information and he registers it with the correct information,
all is going to
nobody gets paid. The check stops. He won't get paid and I won't get paid, because now here's where the companies connect. ASCAP and BMI information has to be the same.
Exactly.
It has to be the same, because the radio stations have to make sure that ASCAP and BMI are paid whatever they're supposed to be paid. So guess what? If one radio station plays our song, he's going to get paid through ASCAP. I'm going to get paid through BMI. But if I register it and my registration information is incorrect, I stop his check. If I'm correct in my information and his is incorrect, he stops both of our checks as well.
Yeah.
So that's another thing, making sure our information is correct. So in other words, what does that mean? Well, if we agree to split 50-50 on the song, and then he decides to go register it and say, I want 75%, and I'm still doing 50%, it's going to stop either one of us from getting a check until, guess what, that information is corrected. So that leads me into another point. Split sheets, y'all. Split sheets. Split sheets. Can somebody say split sheets? Everybody say split sheets.
I tell you over and over.
Or your writers.
The last 15 years.
Split sheets when you're in the studio, when you're in sessions, and when you're writing. You should have a copy of a split sheet in your bag, so that when you are in a session, and if folk don't want to sign the split sheets, please let them know it's necessary. Please be on top of your business, and you're gonna have to talk to business.
Baby girl, love you.
You're gonna have to talk to business. You're gonna have to talk to business. You know, split sheets are very important, so that when you're writing, everybody remembers who did what. And 9 times out of 10, some folk forget until that song becomes a hit record. And
what up, Mike?
and then people come out the woodwork. Matter of fact, true story is that individuals who were in the room when a song was created, didn't have anything to do with writing the song, can actually claim a percentage of the rights for the publishing of the song, because they can now say that they helped to create the environment that the song was created in. Okay?
Now you don't, I love you more. And I gotta give a shout out to DJ.
That's
Eric
who I am,
Brown
Julian Varner. I am Julian Varner.
Yes, he's
Marsha,
that guy. Shout out to Marco and Daisy the Baddest Rebel.
Most have never heard of. That's why we're trying to, and this is standard stuff, Melinda, that we need to talk about and we need to learn about, because
G-Boy,
in order to get to that next level, we need to know this stuff. We need to know this stuff. So I'm here to share it, to talk about it, because I'm. It's sad how many people come through and they're phenomenal singers and don't know the business. Or they think they know the business and they talk like they know the business but really don't know it. Nothing frustrates me more than someone that thinks they know the business and they really don't know the business, but they fuss with me like they know the business.
Yeah, we've been in for over 20 years. Yeah.
So, we just want to share the wealth, share the information. What else, Eddie?
Man,
this was good stuff. Do y'all like this? Y'all give me some hearts and,
What up, Q, man? You still
or whatever, some cool. Thumbs up, whatever, to say you like what you're hearing. You want to hear more, because we're going to do this some more. Elder Keith, you're going to get back in the music biz. I miss it, but I need producers. Well, you got one right here. Thanks for your knowledge, my brothers. Bless you. Well, you got producers right here.
Yep, little Jake.
If there's budgets, you got producers. If there's budgets, you got producers. Hear what I'm saying? You see these lights? You see these lights? You see that electricity that's in the background? So we trying to keep the lights on. We trying to keep the bills paid. That's what we're trying to do. So, in all honesty, that's part of it. So we got to really, I'm going to say something that I know my church folk really can appreciate. We say it all the time. Write the vision, make it plain. Let's sit down and let's talk about what it's going to take to get from point A to point B to point C to point D, whatever it is that you have to do. And let's be realistic, because we all have the idea that we're going to change the game.
King.
You're not going to change the game. You're not going to change the business. You're not going to change the business. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to bust anybody's bubble. You might feel that they're going to hear you, and all of a sudden they're going to change the industry for you. Sorry, they're not changing the industry for you. You got to know your business. You got to be on top of your business. You got to do everything that is correct, so that you will protect yourself, number one, protect your music, and then also educate yourself so that you can go a little bit further. Now, there's a downside sometimes to knowing too much. Sometimes if you know too much, sometimes people don't want to mess with you. Why? Because there's two kind of people in the business: those that create and those that live off of people that create. So take that as you will, but hear me. If you know your business, you don't have to worry about anything. Know your business. Melinda, I've talked about this stuff to many people about knowing their business to the point I should be rich, exactly, off a consultation. People don't know their business.
He ain't got his glasses on, that's why he keep blocking the light.
You're absolutely right. Good topic. Can be songwriter versus producer credits when it comes to the split sheet. Because actually you can agree to split 50-50, because actually when you register the song on the performance rights site, it actually asks if you were the lyricist, maybe not in those terminology, but the composer or the author. It usually asks, and those splits go between songwriter, musician, because composition a lot of times, which is what the musician does or the producer does, unless you actually hire in another musician to come in to play. The producer usually becomes the composer. So the composer is the one that actually is part of the writing. And even on the copyright form for Washington, D.C., before you even get to performance rights organizations, it will ask you, what is the contribution to the work? Who contributed what? So that means between lyrics and music, who contributed what? All right? So, yes. As they would say, Melinda, the game is the game. If you don't like the game, it says don't hate the player, hate the game. Then if you're not ready for the business, then it's maybe time to learn more about the business. I'm not going to say get out of it, but learn more about it. I want people to know what they need to know. That's my desire. That's my passion.
A lot of people not going to tell you.
Yeah.
They're not going to tell you. We tell you.
All right, good people, we're about to sign off this here for this moment and this time. But yes, please, we got information for distribution, secular as well as Christian, gospel, whatever. So, we want to help. We want to help encourage you. We want to help build what you're doing. Anybody needs a producer, please come. Serious inquiries. He's
that guy.
And we're not the only one that have to do the tracks. You can bring tracks or you can bring music. We just want to help get it to where it needs to be. So, there you go. All right.
You can reach me.
And don't disqualify folk because they're not who you think they should be, or not 9 times out of 10. If you could work with who you're going to compare other people to, then you would be there.
Think about it.
I'll say that again. If you're going to compare folk to folk that you say they should be like, but you're not there, if you was there, you'd be working there too. Yeah. All right. So let's not be so hard on one another. Let's give each other an opportunity or a chance. Yes, I will, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let's give each other a chance. Let's show each other some love. All right. Let's show love. Let's show love. Love is the greatest power. There's no power on this earth greater than love. I don't care. Love is love. There you go. All right. There's no greatest power. Let's show each other. And it don't cost. You already have a resource of love inside of you.
Throw the
So,
hate away.
There you go.
I done got hated on so much.
Show some
I started
love.
to put hate in my name sometimes.
Overcome evil with good. Those are principles that we have to start applying and reiterating, so we can take the place that we need to take and become who we say we are. All right, people?
And you can
So-
reach me. Go to eyesightmediacenter.com. My number is all the way down to the bottom. Hey, I'm connecting the dots
All right, good
all
people.
day, every day. Music, and all.
Cuz you said don't disqualify people with home equipment if it's good equipment. Oh, no doubt. No doubt. That's where it all starts. Matter of fact, do you know this? That the major studios shut down because of the folk that had quality equipment in their
All
homes.
the studios in New
All
York
right?
are shut down.
All of the major studios where people were spending $250, $500 an hour.
An hour.
Them studios is done. Did you know the Sony building got sold? See,
Yeah.
there's a whole lot. I mean, the industry has been impacted over the years in many ways. So right now is the opportune time for independence to surge forward and to take its place. And there are artists, if you watch the Grammys, look who's independent without even major label deals, but they've gotten Grammy awards. They've gotten other kind of awards without being signed to major labels. All right, so people, it can happen. It can happen.
Get that me, Stoney.
The process
Danville.
of it happening has to be
I heard it the other day. It was hot.
correct. All right.
It's easy.
All right, so listen, we're going to sign off for now. Peace and love. All right?
Later.
We appreciate y'all. Thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit. Share this with all your friends, everybody that's a musician, a singer, anybody. And, hey, somebody might say I'm wrong. Somebody might say I'm right. But let's just start the conversation and let's figure it all out. But it's time to become and it's time to do. All right?
I'll
Peace
be
out,
back
man.
after Thanksgiving.